Good morning. I am out in Oregon, in the high desert of Southeast Oregon. Beautiful, empty place, my kind of place. I like it out here. And here is the view from camp. It is just after sunrise. Got some bare mountains around us here. And more mountains off in the distance. This mountain over here on the horizon, the one that's farthest away, it's called Steens Mountain. That's a beautiful mountain. You can drive up to the top of it. Great views. I'll put the link to that video in the description. And here is where I'm camped. And this is my camp vehicle for the next week. This is a 1993 GMC Suburban on loan to me, courtesy of Grady at Sub-Overland. You've met him before in my videos. If you missed the previous video, I picked this up from him in Twin Falls, Idaho yesterday, and then I didn't film this part, but I drove about 5.5 hours to get here to southeastern Oregon, and I'm excited to have this vehicle for the next week. I'll be exploring the Oregon coast, but I'm not quite there yet, and I won't be there today either. Today I'll be going through basically northern Nevada. I'll be dipping into Nevada before coming back up out into Oregon. I'm excited, it'll be a good day. Let me show you the inside of the Suburban here. And if it looks like I just woke up and I'm tired, I just woke up and I'm tired, so be kind. Here's how I've got it set up at the moment. I organized it a bit last night. So I just got some miscellaneous things here, shoes, headlamp charging, backpack hanging up. And this is the Goal Zero Yeti 500. This is a Dometic fridge. I don't remember which one it is. It's like the CFX, 35 maybe? These two things are Grady's. They come with the Suburban. Everything else is mine back in here. Got my food here and some water here. And this is basically just a nice staging area. I can put all my shoes here and I can, get changed right here. There's a good amount of room right here. And then this is the bed. It was chilly last night. Got down to below freezing. I had 2 sleeping bags. Got some of my clothes in the cubbies on the side here. Got a fantastic fan up there. And yeah, it's a great setup. And then in the front, just got some electronic things and my fishing gear, and then I've got more water down in the footwell over here. So I'm at a little campground here, just 15 minutes from where I camped. It's a dispersed camping campground. And there are a couple of hot springs right here. This is called Willow Creek Hot Springs. Hot. This is a great hot spring. The water is hot, but not too hot. It's basically the perfect temperature. Oh, it's so nice. Feels really good on a cold morning here. There's a second pool behind me here, and I tried it, but it's colder than this one. This one, I think the smaller upper one is the one to be in for sure. Well, as I said, that was just delightful. I loved that. Great way to start the morning. I'm gonna have some breakfast now. Got some yogurt and a fizzy drink and a coconut butter biscuit. I'll polish these off and then I'll hit the road again, going on into northern Nevada. Yeah, my RAV4 could not do this. This is steep and rocky and bumpy. Oh. So I just went back to retrieve the camera after filming that last shot, and I realized that the entire top part, basically everything that was on top of the car, has fallen off. The basket that was up there, the spare tire, the shower thing. I didn't realize it when I was driving, but take a look at this. The entire basket system has come off. So is the shower attached to the basket? Well, no, let's see, it's not just the basket, it's the crossbar. Huh. Okay, well, give me a minute here to figure out what to do about this. But yeah, the top two crossbars have come off. This one here, and this one right here. I've backed up the Suburban to be close to here, and I think I'm just gonna try to put everything inside for now, then I'll call Grady later, the guy who I'm borrowing this from, and try to figure out what to do. And we'll inspect the damage later, but for now let's just put all this back in there and get back on the road. That is heavy. Oh. All right, I'm on top of this plateau here. Once I got up, to the relatively flat part, the road was decent. But that initial ascent, where the top of the car got ripped off, that was rocky and steep and bumpy. So I'm going to show you something here. And I'm going to warn you that if you are afraid of heights, you probably don't want to watch this. So skip forward a minute or two. Welcome to Thousand Creek Gorge. This is something. This is just a 500 or 600 foot deep gorge down into the canyon there. That is intense. I am right on the edge here. Like, I'm standing here, and this is the edge. Just a wild place. What a gash in the earth. There's the creek down in the bottom there. What a place. What a drop off. Just massive sheer cliffs out here. I am, by the way, on Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge, or in Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge. Never been here before, And this is in northern Nevada. I'm in Nevada right now, and I'm excited to keep exploring. So let's hit the road again. Well, it's actually a couple hours later. I left the top of the mountain there, the gorge overlook, and then I tried to fish in some ponds for an hour and didn't have any luck. And then I'm walking to my next point of interest here now, but I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what it's called. I think I know what it is, but I didn't mark it on my map. Like, I didn't write the name of it down. But luckily I have arrived at the place that I was hoping this would be. And it is an old ranch house, and there's a really neat old corral here and some other outbuildings, and very interesting. I forget the name of this ranch. I'll put it on the screen, and also how old it is, when it was built. So it looks like this was the house, the ranch house. And then over here we have some other buildings. This has got to be a barn of some sort, because it's right next to the corral area. And this might have been, I don't know, just like a storage shed or something. I don't know. But let's go check out the house here. It's really in remarkably good shape. Like, the plaster on the walls looks good. This is the entry room here, the first room you come to. And I'm in the room next door, which has a neat old winding staircase going up to the second floor. And also a nice built-in shelf right here. Let's go upstairs. Try not to fall through the holes here. Yeah, I mean, this is surprisingly nice and solid up here. This wall here has certainly seen better days, but peering out the window here, I noticed that there's another building, a little cellar built into the hillside here. And it looks like the roof has been replaced, or at least shored up recently. These have got to be newer pieces. Yeah, I think those are plywood sheets on the outside of the slats here. Then looking out this way, just looking down to the outside. Carefully going down the stairs again here. This is still on the National Wildlife Refuge. This is part of that. Let's take a peek into the cellar here. Look at these big old pieces of stone used to construct these buildings. I mean, this over here, this is like a boulder. This thing. Anyway, let's go check out the cellar. Well, it's definitely cold. You can see why they would use it as a cellar. And again, I mean, this is just in such good condition. This is interesting. You have sticks in place of, I guess, slats in the roof. Not a whole lot going on in this one, so let's turn back over to what I think is the barn here. And again, massive stone slabs. The walls are in surprisingly good shape here, along with the windows being framed by those, again, big stone slabs. Looks like there used to be a metal roof on top, but it is entirely missing now. And then what might be most impressive to me are these walls, the walls of the corral here. I don't know if this is, I assume this is willow or something. But the branches have just been woven, it's gotta be thousands of them, woven around to create the wall here. And again, it is still in surprisingly good shape. The way they're wavy and undulating like this, it reminds me of like a Vincent van Gogh painting. And then over on the far side here, there's a little lean-to shelter or shed or manger, or I don't know what this was, but it's leaning up against the rock here a little bit. And again, just think of all the work it would have taken to first find and harvest all these sticks, and then to make this. Wow. I've scrambled up on top of the rock above the corral here to get a more bird's eye view of the entire area. Here it is. This would have been a very lonely place to try to eke out a living. And with that, we are done with our brief detour, our brief sojourn, I guess you could say, into northern Nevada. We're gonna head back up into southern Oregon now. Well, everyone, that was literally the worst road I've ever driven. That was so bumpy and jarring, and it was just so unpleasant to drive. And I had all the metal and those tubes clanking around in the back. It was just, oh man. And it took, let's see, I left the paved road 45 minutes or an hour ago, and so it took me that long driving on that terrible road for, I think, about 13 miles. 13 miles of bumpy, terrible, miserable driving that my car, my RAV4, certainly could not have done. So I am grateful to have the beefed up Suburban. But anyway, I'm out in the desert, obviously, still. See this cliff band behind me? That's what I'm here for, I think. I'm here to find some rock art, some petroglyphs, to be more specific. I'm walking over to the left end of this cliff band. I think it's the south end. And then I'll work my way along the cliff band the other way, looking for petroglyphs. Well, good news. Basically right off the bat here, I'm seeing just a ton of petroglyphs. And these are interesting because these are reported to be the oldest in North America. If I remember right, they're 15,000 years old. That's what the scientists say. I think that was the number. If it's something different than that, I'll put it up on the screen. Anyway, let me show you some of these. We have this. Not sure what it is. And then we have some other ones over there, some circles. These are the first ones that I've seen here so far. And some more over here. Okay, we're getting into quite a bit of it here. It's on these boulders down here. And then a lot on the cliffs up above. And there's a big panel over here. Instead of showing you every single panel I come across, I think I'll just play some music and do a montage of the greatest hits here. So I walked along the cliff band from past this point all the way to here. It was about a mile, but there's still at least that much left to go, if not more. But I think that'll have to wait for another trip here. I think the thing that struck me the most about these is that there are relatively few animals and even fewer human shapes. Whereas most other rock art places I've been, there are a lot of them. A lot of animals, a lot of humanoid figures. Not like that here. Here it was a lot more, I guess, kind of abstract. At least to me, it's abstract. Lines, shapes, tick marks, that kind of thing. Really interesting. And I'm not gonna share the name or location of this place. If you didn't know, I almost always include everywhere I go as GPS coordinates in the video description. But every once in a while I get to a place where I'm just a little bit uncomfortable doing that. Uncomfortable to bring more attention to a place. At least in a way that is mass broadcast like this and that anyone can access. And so I'm not going to include them in the video description. I will include information about this place on Adventure Know-How, which is my membership site community. So if you do want to find more info about this place, you can go there. I've done this in the past. It happens once every year or two where I just don't want to put the coordinates in the description because, I don't think I saw any modern graffiti or defacing of these petroglyphs, which is remarkable. I think I've given enough clues in this video to help you figure out what this place is and how to get here. And the thing I always come back to is I found it without any real help, and so if I did it, I think you can too. But anyway, check out this dry lake bed that I'm walking back on. Wide open nothingness. I think I have about an hour of daylight left. This would be a cool place to camp, but I don't want to drive that awful road first thing in the morning. That'll just put me in a bad mood all day. So I think I'm gonna try to drive all of that road, or at least most of it, back toward the main highway out there. That'll take up most of the next hour, and then with any remaining time, I think I'll try to find a place to camp. Well, I successfully drove the terrible road back out to the highway, drove down the highway some more, pulled off again, eventually, and found this really great campsite. Just as the sun was setting, got a mountain behind me here. And then also over on this side. Really nice spot. And as you can see, I removed the two black ABS tubes on the left. Those were for a solar shower that was on top. And I've also removed the rack from the inside. I'll leave the tire inside where it is. It's not a huge deal, but I needed to move these things around to give me some space to sleep. So now I have my bed back. And here is the tire. Tire fits just fine right there, and it's not getting in my way too much. So like I said, I'll just leave that there. And I think that'll basically be the routine for this trip. At night, I'll take these things out of the back and set them outside. And then in the morning, I'll put them back in. The problem, let me show you what happened. So up top here on the roof, there are these 4 posts. 1, 2, and then 3, 4 over there. Those are kind of facing down right now. But they're supposed to be up, and there's supposed to be a crossbar connecting the two, going from side to side. So one crossbar like here, and then one farther back. And it's on top of those crossbars that the basket and everything else were mounted. And the spare tire was inside of the basket, and the solar shower thing was off to the side of the basket. And the problem is that these aftermarket tower things, these vertical parts, snapped. This part here where the crossbar goes into the vertical part. That just broke clean off on all 4 of these. As far as I can tell, that's what happened. Quick interjection here as I'm editing the video here, about to publish it. I have since talked to Grady after returning the Suburban to him. He took a look at it and he said that those crossbars that were on top, those were not very good aftermarket ones that were added sometime in the 90s. He has since replaced those with the stock ones that come on Suburbans, and there haven't been any issues. And then he wanted me to say that they also have an option now that is a swing out tire carrier that attaches to the back rear bumper of the Suburban. Crazy day. Great day though, had a great time, really enjoyed the day's adventures, and I enjoyed being in this beast of a machine over here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the day's adventures. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.